everybody. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, can you type something? Say hi or type a reaction for me. I want to welcome you to this webinar. Okay, hi everyone. So happy 2025. Happy New Year. And good morning. Happy first week of January. Oh, we're already entering to the second week, right? Okay, awesome. So today is a very, very important topic. Really nice to see everybody here. All right, so this is a very important topic, very timely also. It is New Year habits that actually stick. How do we really, the word stick here, I think, is the key word for today. How do we make sure they stick? Because we all know how to start New Year habits, right? We like to make New Year resolutions. Who here loves to make New Year resolutions? You're like always writing down something, or maybe you're like a big fan of vision board. Can you say me? So I do like it. Okay, not really. Motivation to start is nada. Okay, that actually is like very sincere, and I think a lot of us might feel that way too. Sometimes it could be start off slow for some people, and then it goes up a little bit throughout the middle of the year. But okay, a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. Please make sure that you're using a good supported browser, okay? And make sure that your internet connection is also stable. You can test out your speaker output if you are having any difficulties. You just have to refresh your browser or maybe rejoin the webinar. And if you still need some help, or maybe you're having any kind of technical issues, you can reach out to our admin here. So we have a support over here. So you just have to type Alliance Naluri events and you'll be able to private message as well. Okay, so you can ask your questions in the chat box. Please keep it coming. I love to hear from you. You can type your thoughts, your concerns, your opinions, your questions as we go along. So I love to be interactive with you. You can feel free to be yourself. There will also be polls, so you can participate in our polls also. If you want to write a message to me, and it's very, very secret and private, you just have to type the alias Pam and make sure that you tick on send private message, so you can test it out right now. So make sure that you do that, because I want to make sure that you feel comfortable here to share. This is a safe space for you. We will also give you handouts at the end of the presentation in a PDF format. So for those of you who are new here, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Pam. I am a psychologist and mental health coach in Naluri. I am also a lecturer and a clinical psychologist, and I am a PFA-ator and mediator. So I'm so happy to talk to you guys. Thank you, William. Thank you, Hafik, and all of you. So let's get right to it, everybody. Looking at stats right now, I think a lot of you have heard of this. The recent stats, or a lot of stats also agree with this, even recently. 80% of people fail to keep their New Year's resolutions by February. Hi, Putri. So 80% of people fail to keep their New Year's resolutions by February. So a lot of times people feel like this year, maybe you're not writing down a resolution like when you were in school last time, but you might have it like a mental note. You might think like, all right, man, this year I got to start eating healthier. I got to start being more fit. I got to start, spending more time with my family. So it's like a mental note. But by February, you already forgot whatever you said mentally in January. Okay, so it's very, very common for us. 80% of people fail to keep it. Only 8% of people stick with it, until December. This 8% is very, very precious, I would say. So what is the gap here? What do you think they have that we don't, or some of us don't? Or think of a time that you actually kept your resolution. Can you think of that time? Or maybe you accidentally met it without even thinking of it, but you just happened to do it. So these are very important parts. You never fail if you never have one. If you never have one, wow, I like that. That's very interesting, Hafiz. You never fail if you never have one. But I also heard that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's another one also. But I'm gonna keep yours in mind. That's very interesting. So both of it are important, but let's have a little bit of kind of like a reflection that we can do together. Let's have a reflection where let's reflect on our current lifestyle. Okay, so most of 2024 and even now, there are a few quick questions that we want to ask you, so it will help us understand where you're coming from. And it's also a reality check for us, actually. So please make sure when you answer these questions in the next few questions that are coming, can you write down your answer somewhere or type it in your phone? Because I want you to think about that later on when we're going through our webinar as well. Okay, so It will help you to tailor your information towards your journey. All right, so we're going to start off with the first poll, everyone. Okay. How often do you achieve at least 7,000 steps daily? How often? Is it like 6 to 7 times per week, which means like every day? Or is it like, I think like 3 to 5 times a week lah? Or maybe is it 1 to 2 times per week? So maybe weekends, Saja. Or maybe is it rarely 1 to 3 times per month? So maybe like once a week we're talking about. Or how many of you say never? And I can't see who is typing, right? So it's anonymous. So you can be very comfortable to be honest here. If you feel like never, because I'm always in front of my laptop like this, and that's understandable as well. Okay, so okay, I can see like most of you say 1 to 2 times per week. Okay, that's pretty good as well. A lot of you say 3 to 5 times per week. That's amazing as well. Some of you say never, and that's not too late, everyone. Don't worry, it's okay. That's why we're here today, right? To figure out what might be going through. Okay, that's a very good thing. We're going to come to the next question. Keep note of your answer. Take note of your answer. Okay, so the next question is going to be, how often do you spend 10 plus hours in a day sitting or being sedentary? How often do you spend like about 10 hours and more than that, right, in a day sitting or being sedentary? That means you start work maybe at, I don't know, I'm just giving an example. Maybe you begin working at 9 a.m. and then until 7 p.m. you don't move. Maybe you just move for a while to just get up, go to the toilet, or you go and have lunch, then you're sitting again. Even if you use the sitting toilet, you're also sitting, right? Even if you're eating, you're also sitting actually. So the whole time you're sitting nonstop until 7 p.m. How many of you? Okay, so 3 to 5 times per week. Most of you say, okay. Then the second highest is actually 6 to 7 times per week. I mean, per week or daily, actually. So that's always, but always is only 27. Okay, so most of you say 3 to 5 times per week. I'm guessing you're talking about the work weekday. Huh? All right, so then after that we have rarely. Wow. And then followed by sometimes. Okay, great. Okay, keep note of your answer because this really is a reality check for us. Like, wow, actually, how often do I spend like those kind of 10 hours just sitting? And a lot of times, right, we get lost in our work. If you're doing a lot of desk jobs, you might get lost in it. And anyone of you can relate to that? Okay, we're going to go on to our next question. The third question, there are 7 altogether. We're going to go to the third one right now. How often do you get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep at night? How often do you get that? Can I know? Okay. Um, let's see. So most of you say like sometimes. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else? So most of you say like 1 to 2 times per week. Is this the weekend? I'm wondering. So maybe it could be as well. Um, the second highest is going to be like 3 to 5 times per week, which is like pretty okay as well. But it's only 24% though. Most of you say 1 to 2 times per week, that you get a good sleep. And that's also very concerning because, and some of you say never. There's a few of you that say never, and I'm so sorry that you're going through that. Do you know that your sleep quality is really, really related to your mood? How irritable you are, or how happy you are, how energetic you feel, how much you feel like you're able to do a good decision making, problem solving skills. So only like less than 50% of you actually say 1 to 2 times per week actually. So most of you are like around, like not exactly enough, I would say, but it's okay. It's that we're here to actually help you out with that, right? You rarely get 7 to 9 hours, right? Mostly we can. Okay, I see. Magnesium helps with deep sleep. That's true. I mean, okay. Can I see the next question now, everyone? We're going to go to the next question right now, which is number 4. How often do you practice meal portion? Okay, which is like have you heard of this before? Quarter, quarter, half. Okay, so quarter of your plate is filled with protein. Quarter of your plate is filled with carbs, but half of your plate is filled with veggies and fruits. So quarter of it protein, quarter of it is carbs, half is fruits and veggie. Anybody here? So I see that most of you say rarely, 1 to 3 meals in a week, maybe, the next highest is actually sometimes 3 to 5 meals in a week. But very few of you say 1 to 2 meals a day. And the lowest is always lah, okay, which is okay. Some of you say never. I never do that at all. Okay, so it's okay, everyone. That's why we're here today, right? Trying to get into keto diet. Does that count? So I guess keto diet will be very much elimination of carbs, right? Am I not mistaken? So yes, that can count as well because you are trying to portion in your own way. Okay, so most of you rarely lah, but at least 1 to 3 meals in a week. Okay, we're gonna go to the next question now. Have you had a medical checkup in the past year? Maybe 2024, 2020. Okay, have you had a medical checkup? How many of you say yes? So most of you say yes. That's actually great. I think a very small portion say no, but most of you are saying yes. I'm so proud of you for doing that. That's really awesome, by the way. I want to ask you a question, and in the chat, you can just tell me, okay? Okay, tiger eat meat versus cow eat veggie. Okay, yes. Mostly protein diet. All right. Um, I think it would be recommended for you to get a yearly medical checkup. That would be good. That would, of course, that would be very, very good for you to actually check yourself, get a regular checkup. I think yearly is a very good amount, actually, for you to be able to know yourself, so that you are able to keep tab on it. Just like how we check our weight. And also, I want to ask you if you can type in the chat box, huh? How often do you actually go for dental checkup? Huh? At least like scaling or something as well. Did you know your dental periodontal health and also well-being for your teeth and your gums is very much related to your glycemic control, diabetes complications, and also for blood pressure later in adulthood. So it's actually very linked as well. Some research shows that. So very interesting, right? So that's also something very important for you to do. Every quarter. Amazing, William. I love that. Actually, I do that too, and I love that. Okay, once a year. Okay, like at least once a year, right? When there's a need, alamak. Okay, that one we need to have it a bit more often, perhaps. That will be better. Okay, because that might be in need. Dental once or twice a year, very good. Once a year because we can claim. Okay, great lah. Okay, biannually. Um, when gigi sakit, oh no, Rachel. I think we need to do a bit of prevention instead of only intervention. So preferably prevention will be better than cure. Cure is quite expensive. Okay, so okay, let's see. My diet is mostly veggie, rice, eggs, fruits. So meal portion control is not so applicable. Okay, I mean, I guess you could keep a tab on how much rice you would be taking, but if you're taking it in kind of like balanced proportion, that should be no problem then, right? So when needed, also did not go. Daki anak lawai. It's very important for you to go, especially when you need, and even if you don't need as well, because it's really related to your health also, especially for your medical checkup as well. After checkup, the result not so good and then not so bad. Yeah, so it's at least it's better that we know, right, how we're at. So it's good for us to go. Okay, number 6. What's your top health focus? Okay, this is talking about your goal for 2025. Okay, what would be your main focus for your goal, for your health goal? Okay, for 2025, what would be your main focus? Can I know? So I want to see what is your goal. Okay, I know that there could be other categories as well, but talking about your health right now, with regards to physical fitness or nutrition or sleep, or even talking about mental health right now, right? So most of you say exercise. Okay, I'm gonna high five with you, but my second highest for myself, I would choose exercise first. Second, I would say, um, yeah, nutrition and stress as well. So all of these things, but my first one will also be exercise. So second highest, all of you say mental health and stress management, and that's fantastic because a lot of times that takes the back seat in a lot of people's resolutions, and I'm so proud of you that you say that that's going to be your top one for. So a lot of you say that, but most of you say exercise, and that's fantastic as well. So how many of you have started exercising, but then after the second month, third month, and you kind of like busyness takes over, and then you just forget about it, right? It can be very difficult sometimes. Want to pick all but can't. It's okay. I pick all also actually. But what's the first one? What would be your top one? If you have to put a number and a ranking, what would be your first one? So you want to be kurus, okay, weight loss, all of the above, yeah. But the very, very first one is flat my tummy is an exercise. Is flat my tummy is in exercise. Yeah, yes, correct. I mean, actually, that's a good question. It could be both. It definitely has got to do with stress. It also has to do with exercise plus nutrition. Okay, so healthy that I can be fit to do more workout. Yeah, that's true. It's like a cycle, right? The more you work out, the more healthier you are to do more workouts. Sleep, flat tummy. Okay, flat tummy. I would say right. It's also got to do with your sleep. It's all of the above. But you will know your own self. If you are sleeping enough, you are exercising enough, you're eating not that much, but you still have a muffin top. You know, muffin top, the cake muffin. So it could be your stress level because when you have a lot of stress, your body produces a lot of cortisol hormones. And when your body produces that, this cortisol hormone loves to hold on to accumulated fat around your midsection, you know. So I would say sometimes it could be very much related to your stress level. I signed up for a run in I'm nowhere near qualified for. So that's good stress, I guess, because it got me training to make my money's worth. Yes, definitely. That's what we call eustress. You know eustress? That's actually a very good type of stress, a good stress, because you sign up for a marathon or something or a run. And wow, it makes your money worth, definitely worth it for you to sign up for training. Okay, so cultivating good habits in spite of busy routine. I think that's our key over here. I'm sure all of you here are amazing employees. You're so amazing that you want to improve yourself. That's why you attend this talk as well. Those of you who are watching the recording also, you're amazing to tune into this. So it's like, I know that you must be very, very occupied in your work. I'm sure that you're very hardworking as well, right? I'm sure that you're so busy as well. So how to do this in spite of the busy routine? That's what I'm going to share with you in a little bit. Okay, I cannot let go of cookies. I also, cookies is my guilty temptation as well, but I'm going to share with you how to do that in a very flexible yet boundaries way. Okay, all right, so please don't go yet. I want to share with you one more thing. There's one more poll. Okay, one more poll here, very important, okay, for you to know. What do you think is the biggest blocker that really blocks you from sticking to your New Year's resolutions? Can you tell me? If you have to pick one, I know you might say all of the above, but if you have to pick the highest one, what would it be? Okay, so lack of motivation, lack of time is very close. So most of you say lack of motivation, right? That's a good thing because in other words, it's something that within your control. Motivation is within your control to some degree. So which means that we can address this blocker together. Okay, so lack of motivation is still in the spotlight right now. It's on the top here. Intermittent fasting, 16 hours, cut sugar in 1 month, reduce 10 kg. Focus, hey Berjaya, congratulations, Zauri. That's amazing. Your poll didn't come out, Karia. Maybe can you try again? Or can you maybe message our Naluri events? It's always the kickstart, but then it's hard to be consistent. Yeah, definitely. Definitely understandable. Okay, it's always there at the beginning, but it's hard to be consistent. A very good guru told me this once. There are two ingredients for us to achieve anything: persistency and consistency. So I learned this from him, and it's wonderful. Persistency and consistency. So it's hard to do, but it's something to recognize right now. So most of you say lack of motivation, but the second highest is lack of time. And then you know what's the third one or not? It's fatigue, actually. And then family obligations. The last one is unrealistic goals. Okay. All right. So first few weeks is the most difficult. Yeah, discipline is hard, right? Okay. Now we're gonna come. I want to share with you. Thank you so much, by the way, for sharing with me all of these. So these actually show us that you know what, you're not alone, right? Many people also face some similar challenges like that when it comes to maintaining healthy habits, right? So together with me right now, let's explore from a scientific point of view and from a psychological viewpoint habit formation and how to help us overcome these obstacles and build sustainable routines. Let's do that together right now. Okay, the science of habits, our first part of it. So I want to share this with you. It's a very, very important part for you to know. And it's got to do with this thing called the habit loop. So have you heard of the habit loop before? It's called how do habits form? Okay. So number one, there's always a cue before our habit comes. There's always a cue one. There's always a trigger. That trigger will make you crave for something. Then you will respond towards that trigger and that craving. And then in order to get the reward. For example, somebody here said that I love cookies, right? When do you normally eat the cookies? Can you tell me? So when do you normally crave for the cookies? So for me, I crave for something sweet after lunch sometimes a lot of times actually. It's festive seasons like yes, like Christmas and New Year and everything, but even Chinese New Year coming up. So yes. After long hours in the office, sometimes when you're very stressed, right, your body craves for something sweet as well, or carbs sometimes. After meals or when in office. Okay, say for example, it's after lunch. So when it's after lunch, you're like you eat something savory most of the time for lunch, maybe something like more meat based or protein based or carb based. Then after that, you crave for chocolate. Do you crave for chocolate? I don't know. So I used to be like that. I crave for ice cream or chocolate after lunch. And then my cue is lunch, craving for something sweet for the palate to kind of have a nice lining over the palate. Then the response is go and look for a very sweet cup of coffee or some or some chocolate or some ice cream. And the reward is, yay, I got it. I feel so good right now. So if you want to change, because it's going to be very unhealthy if you do that every day, right? So how do we change that response? Because the craving will be there. How do we change the behavior, the habit, to make it healthier? So the cue is not changeable. It's usually going to be there, right? The reward, we want to maintain the reward because we don't want to suffer as well. Otherwise, the habit is not going to be able to be sustained. So we want to, the cue is maintained, the reward is there. The one that we change is in the middle, the response. So what behavior can we do that is an alternative behavior that we can do to satisfy that craving, but we maintain the same reward? Can you tell me an example? For example, what can you do in place of that? So for example, you have a sweet craving. Maybe you could go for some fruits, like very healthy fruits, berries or some kind of like apples or mango. That's like a healthier option as opposed to very sweet chocolate and cookies all the time, every day. Like I'm talking about every day. Or you could opt for dark chocolate, or you could opt for Greek yogurt with a little bit of honey. You could also opt for dried fruit or some kind of chia pudding or some nut butter or frozen grapes, some kind of trail mix. Trail mix is very good. You know those combined nuts, right? And healthy raisins. So coconut yogurt. So all of these could be healthier alternative, but you maintain the reward. You still feel rewarded. Try and see durian. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, yogurt. Okay. Maybe I need to buy cubings to make juice. I eat or drink any sugary stuff when I'm bored. Okay, so Rudy, your cue is boredom. The craving is to satisfy and combat that boredom. You don't actually need that sugary stuff, but because of the boredom, you feel like, what do I do right now? Let me go search in the kitchen for something. So the craving is there, the cue is there. Change the response. Find something else that you can do to combat that boredom that will hopefully give you that same high or reward. So something like that as well. Maybe instead of going to something sugary when you're bored, actually maybe doing some kind of a particular thing that makes you feel happy because you're going for that kind of like serotonin release or endorphin release. When you eat certain foods, it gives you serotonin. That's a feel good hormone. Or sometimes you just want to get that high feeling. So what can you do alternatively that does not involve eating something unhealthy? I love durians too. It's very seasonal. So you don't have to give up on everything right now. It's all about managing the timing, managing the portion, managing the frequency. Because in Naluri, we really believe in flexibility, but with boundaries and knowing how to have that boundaries as well. right? So portion control and knowing moderation, exactly, Miles. That's the word. Moderation is key here. So find out what are your guilty pleasures or very unhealthy habits that you're having right now. What is the cue that usually does that for you? Now, how can I replace that with an alternative behavior or response, but still maintain the good reward? You got to think about that. All right, so you can type in the chat box later if you want some ideas as well. Now, the next part of the science is I want to share with you this. It's a very important theory that you have to know about, okay, everybody? It's got to do with stages of change. Stages of change. That means when we want to change a new habit, maybe you want to incorporate a new habit or you want to stop a bad habit. So, whatever it is, you might go through these 5 stages of change. It's like a progression of steps. The first stage is pre contemplation. So, what it means is that you are so unaware of the problem. So, this is something that you might discover when you're talking to somebody. Somebody might say to you, like, you're so skinny. Why do you want to exercise? You don't have to exercise. That's a misconception, right? Because you still need to have healthy living and fitness. Or you're so skinny, you can eat a lot of rice, actually. Not necessarily. You need to also see what is your portion control because your metabolism might be high. So pre contemplation is unaware of the problem. Like, why is it that I can't indulge in lots of ice cream and chocolate every single day? I don't think that's a problem. Why must I stop smoking? I know that the cigarette box has got pictures of very scary cancers and everything, but I know that's not going to happen to me. So it's like kind of like a pre-contemplation stage where you're unaware of the issue at hand. So if you're at that stage, you haven't even begun doing something healthy yet because you're still unaware. That's stage one. Anyone feels like you're in stage one here? You can PM me if you want. Like somebody has been telling you to declutter your home, but you feel like I don't need to declutter. I'm totally fine the way I am. That's pre-contemplation stage. When you're not aware of a particular need to change. Anyone here pre-contemplation stage? You can type in the chat box or you can PM me, private message me. Okay. Contemplation stage is stage two. That is when I think it's a lot of us over here. You are aware of the problem and of the desired behavior change. You know that I have muffin top. I really feel like I'm overweight right now. I've gained some holiday weight. I feel like I'm not sleeping enough. I have a lot of stress, but I don't know how to curb it. I don't know how to cope with it. But I know that I have to do something about it. I have a very bad sleeping habit. I sleep while scrolling on social media and I sleep off like that with the lights on at 3 a.m. I know I have to do something about it, but I don't know how. I don't know where to start. You, my friend, are in contemplation stage if you're speaking that way. Okay, so how to control and reduce our screening time. Okay, so that your goal is to reduce your screening time, right? So are you in, I'm guessing that Shahira, you're in contemplation stage right now because you have a goal to reduce the screen time, but you don't know how yet, right? That's where we are here together. You're going to do a little bit of a preparation stage. So preparation is when you are going to make some preparation steps towards making that change. That's when you can discuss it with a coach. You can discuss it with somebody. So like Yati says, you're unaware. I'm trying to change. I'm making efforts, but I don't see any results. Okay, so you're in contemplation stage right now. So probably you're trying to change, right? Maybe we might need to switch things up a little bit. There might be some efforts that you're doing so hard, right? But it may not be effective for some reason. And that's the gap that you might need to really have a consultation to discuss with somebody. Okay, now it's fruit season. All right. I'm in contemplation stage. Yes. You have a kid, you won't have time for screen time. Okay. All right. So let's say, for example, for who was it just now? Is it Shahira? All right. So you want to be able to reduce your screen time, right? So maybe you could actually have a timer for it. You could say that, okay, like some apps actually block your Wi-Fi after 1 hour. You can choose for that. Or you know what really helps us also? I use whenever my battery is about to go very, very low, I notice that somehow you're able to stop that screen time at that moment when it's very low and suddenly it goes off. Somehow situational factors make it easier to say no. sometimes, right? That's why arranging your environment in such a way can really help. So maybe when you come back home, the cue, remember the cue just now? So your cue is, when do you normally scroll endlessly on screen time? When does it happen? Is it after work? Is it before sleeping? Identify your cue and think about, okay, before sleeping. So a lot of times people have got overthinking before sleeping. Sometimes they use screen time as a distraction because it makes them feel a little bit happier. It's not wrong to have a bit of screen time before sleeping. That's when a lot of you relax, you want to have Netflix and everything, or you want to go on TikTok or something. So sometimes, right, it's not a bad thing, but knowing how to have that limit or boundary. So maybe you need to set an alarm for that to remind you to stop, or maybe you need to make sure that if you're watching a Netflix show, preferably not watch a movie that's going to keep you hooked. Maybe like one episode of Seinfeld, I don't know, that's my favorite, or anything that makes you feel like you have that limit, not something that's so like very eye-catching and then you feel like you cannot stop. So you need to be able to have that. Nadia has a good solution, only in the LRT. Wow, that's good. Movie series helps a lot. It's hard, but don't watch like some dramas that you cannot stop on. That one's going to be difficult. Watch like a mainstream kind of comedy that it has each episode is not connected, preferably. So yes, suspense. Okay, so then you go to preparation stage. Let's say when I'm discussing with you right now, we are preparing. We haven't tried it out yet. You are still preparing. So tonight, I will only schedule half an hour of screen time. And then when I'm commuting to work, maybe I can have a bit of screen time. Preferably not that you're driving a lot. Maybe if you're in the LRT or something. Yeah, K drama. It's kind of hard. Yes, I agree. Oh, I miss Friends. Friends used to be on Netflix. Okay, Modern Family, New Girl. Those ones are very much doable. You can stop at the end of it, right? Brooklyn 99. Yes, exactly. Okay, so let's say, for example, Shahira has already started to implement it. She only watches a very short show. She does not go on mindless scrolling on other apps. I think you know what apps I'm talking about. She does not go on that. She only limits herself to, let's say, a very short Netflix show that only lasts for like less than half an hour. Then you're able to put the alarm. But remember, the reward needs to be good. If you do not feel like I'm rewarded enough, I'm not satisfied, I didn't get my satisfaction. So you might need to find a healthier alternative to get that reward. What do you get when you keep scrolling? You get instant gratification, right? You might need an alternative behavior for that. Sometimes I put on a very nice, relaxing music, but don't scroll. Just put it on so it's audio and you're just like listening. Or I have a very nice hot cup of anything that you want to drink, almond milk or something. Then before I sleep, and it really helps to calm me down. And so I get that gratification without having it's an alternative and a much healthier way. So let's say, for example, I'm planning this. Now I start to execute it. I'm already in action phase. So my stage is action, right? Now, I've been doing it for 6 months. I'm in maintenance phase already. Ellie McBeal, so long I haven't seen that. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, maintenance phase is 6 months. But please don't be disheartened if you fall off the wagon, if you relapse. It's okay. It just means that you're human. So take note of that. If you want to check your readiness to change questionnaire, right, there is actually there's a PDF on that you can check which stage you're at. So I'm going to give this to you here. You can just click on that. It's on public domain online. You can actually do that. All right, I teach sports psychology, and in sports psychology there's a theory that talks about how will a person actually do a behavior. What would it take for you to really change your habits? There are 3 questions here right now. Can I do it? Can I really limit my screen time? Can I really exercise for 10 minutes a day? Can I really eat in portion control? What will I get if I reduce my screen time? Now it comes up to how attractive your what will I get will be. How attractive is the reward to you? So if you feel like, yeah, if I reduce my screen time, I can sleep better. I can have more sleep. Then the next morning I look fresh. I need my beauty sleep. Then I can be more fresh for the day. So is it worth it or not? How badly do I want it? If you answer these 3 questions, and these 3 questions are yes, that's the room's expectancy theory. They call it like this. Okay, will my effort lead to high performance? So remember, this is sports psychology, but I like this theory and I use it for habits as well. So it's like, will my effort of doing portion control lead to some weight loss and helping me with my fitness? Will it really make me more energetic? If you say yes, okay, the next one. Now, will my performance lead to a good outcome? When I'm able to be more energetic, will I be able to perform better at work and in my home? Yes, you will. Now, let's say if it's yes to you, do I really find that outcome desirable? How badly do I want to perform and be energetic at work? How badly do I want to be energetic at home? If your answer is yes to all 3, that's when you will start the habit. But if you feel like, nah, I don't think it's going to make a difference if I walk 10 minutes a day, now you won't even try to continue it. It's about you recognizing the value in your habits, in your habit change. Then recognizing that, do I really want it so badly? Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Nadia, for sharing. Okay. Deki says, the problem I only do if there are no other option. Problem is, I only do it if there are no other option. Okay, so I guess you got to find out what will make you do it when you have the options as well. How can you do it? So give me an example that maybe Deki can give a bit more context, an example. Okay, Khadija says, how to focus when we have done multitasking for years. Career mom will do multitasking, but it killed me if I need to focus on one task and complete it ASAP. That's very true, Khadija. Sometimes, right, it came to a point, right, I was thinking to myself, because I'm so used to multitasking, and do you know that multitasking is actually a myth? Which means that we can't actually do multiple things at the same time. We are just task switching very, very quickly. So I've been so used to task switching very, very quickly, just like you as well, that sometimes I find it so boring if I'm doing one thing at a time. Did you have in the past, lah? Okay, I used to feel like faster lah when somebody is doing something, like, can you hurry it up? I got so many things that I'm doing at the same time. So when you're watching a video, a cooking show, you're like, this is taking too long. Have you ever felt that way before? Because you're so used to task switching, your patience level is also very low. And then, yeah, it's 2 times speed. And then you also feel like, you kind of feel, okay, if it's a video, you can speed it up. What if it's live? What if you're in a meeting and then you feel like, this is boring, let me multitask right now? That's not very safe for you actually to do that. What happens is we are training our brain to have a very low attention span actually, and it's not very healthy. So what I do is I try to retrain our brain to have mindfulness, retrain our brain to meditate, retrain our brain to focus and be calm. When I deal with people who are older, also, it takes a lot of patience. Also, that's a training ground for you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jasmine is not able to hear me. Maybe can our Michelle, can we help Jasmine out? I think her audio is not really working. Maybe can you rejoin back, Jasmine? Okay, let's see. When we keep moving here and there to focus, yes, expand your attention span, right, Nadia? That's what you can. Popcorn brain. That's true. Keep on doing stuff. ADHD become very trending right now. Exactly. You are so right. Actually, I mean, sometimes it could be genetic. A lot of it's very much genetic predisposition actually. So some people might have a genetic gene. They might have a genetic predisposition for ADHD. They might actually be born with that, but then also multitasking would maintain those symptoms or make it worse as well. So we really have to be very much in tune with that. So yes, retrain our brain, everybody, to focus on one thing at a time. Are you guys focusing on me right now or not? Or are you actually multitasking right now? You're like, let me finish this report while I listen to Pam. Are you doing that? Any guilty people? Can I see a show of hands? I won't judge you. Okay, I understand. It's okay. I'm not gonna judge you. Guilty moment. Okay, it's all right. But try to focus. I know that you're very busy. It's okay. I totally understand. It's a working day. Okay. But try to really train your brain to focus. Really, really watch a show. If you're watching a Netflix series, right? Really be so mindful. Set the lighting, set your popcorn, set your maybe a healthy popcorn, okay? Set your very nice drink and just mindfully focus. Don't A lot of times people watch TV, but the TV is watching them and they're on the phone. actually. When something is playing, are you ready? Are you guilty of that? Right, deep focus and digital minimalism. That's really, really nice. How to hone your focus. That's really true. So, all of these things are very important. I remember a very good show last time. If I remember it again, let me tell you about it. But this focus is really important for you. All right, so number two, know your why. That will help you discover your how. Your why is your intrinsic motivation factor. Why do you want to have six pack abs? Yeah, I want to look good. Okay. Why do you want to look good? So my confidence will increase. I can fit into my clothes better. What would you get if your confidence increases and if you can fit into your clothes better? I'll be more happy to attend physical meetings. I'll be more happy to attend family gatherings. I'll be more happy to actually like show up. I'll be more confident when I'm speaking, when I'm out there giving a talk physically, when I'll feel like better about myself. Do you know that even though maybe you have those like fitness and toned body, right? Even if people can't see it, you feel good, right? You feel good, and that's what matters the most. So maybe you feel like, you know what else, Pam? I'll be able to move faster. I'll be having a better stamina and energy. So that's your why factor. What would you be able to do when you have more stamina? I'll be able to be more energetic to accomplish a lot of things in one day. Now you've gotten your real deep intrinsic motivation why factor. Now we will go to the how, and that's how you can go into really, really going into that. Okay, so all of you just now, remember you told me a lot of things in the poll, right? Okay, so a lot of you, I'm going to the poll now. A lot of you told me that you want to exercise. Okay, that's like 50% of you told me you want to exercise. Okay, so are you really willing or not? These three magic questions. Are you willing to exercise, everybody? Are you really willing? Are you able? And are you ready? What do you think? Okay, so are you really willing, able, and ready? Yes, but no time. That means you are willing, you are ready, but you're not able. Okay, so you're not to be blamed. Don't worry. We need to figure out how to make you able. So a lot of times you are, but no time. Okay, 5 to 10 minutes is fine. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it starts slow. Exactly. Nadia's really good. So it's true. So a lot of you right now in the chat box are in contemplation stage. You have the desire to change. You have the ability to change, but your circumstances are not allowing it. You feel that way, right? Your perception of it. You have the reasons to change, all right? You have the need to change also. My biggest why, Becky says, would be to grow old long enough to watch my daughters grow up. My daughter grow up. That's very sweet, Becky. Thank you for sharing that. So that would be a very good intrinsic motivation. I want to be there for my family. That's very, very selfless and good. So Kyron says that the easy one next to your bed. Next to your bed. That means you start off, put the habit in your bed, right? Consistency is the hard part. Exactly. Oh, sorry, Codric. Yeah, I think it is recorded. Yes, it is. Okay, so action stage. The next stage is action. Once you're in action stage, you would need to have commitment and activate your energy and take steps. So I think a lot of you are saying that to me right now. You're saying that you started, but it's hard to be consistent. This is for you. This is for all of you. But can I just know in the chat box if you can type what number are you? Are you like, I have number one, two, and three? Or are you like, I'm willing, but I'm not ready? So I only have willing and able. I'm only one and two. Okay, Iskandar says he's willing. A lot of you are only one now. Or maybe are you one, two, and three? A lot of you are able only. So Deki says he's one and two. A lot of you say one. Some of you said, I'm ready. But it's very important now, you guys. You have to have all three in order for a habit to work. So maybe some of you might say that I'm willing, I'm able, but I'm not ready. Not yet. Next week, can or not? Can? Okay. Are you going to be ready next week or not? So that kind of a thing. So are you, okay, on the way to three? Great. So if you're willing, I'm willing to have portion control. I think I'm able to have it, but I'm not ready because I'm staying in my parents' house and they always insist to tambah nasi, add more. So it depends on what you're going through. Then we find a way to combat the lack of it, right? Okay, so now we're coming to the foundation for success. So, like what Nadia said just now, start small. That's true. Identify your why, start small. You don't have to now suddenly run a marathon. You can just start like 5 minutes of walking on the spot. That really helps a lot. Or maybe just walking around your condo, around your housing area, maybe walking in your workplace. Make use of the stairs. Don't always go by lift. That's a very small habit. In the beginning, when I started to stop using the lift, I felt like I was like breathing heavily. Then I felt like it's getting easier now. So that's very motivating for you to check and balance yourself as well, right? Okay, and focus on one habit at a time. Some of you might say, I want to eat healthier, I want to become more fit, I want to be able to read this book, I want to this. Maybe start on 1 week, start one habit. Master that first, then bring on another habit along the side, right? So I want to share with you the secret over here, everybody. This is health psychology. I used to teach health psychology as well. Now, implementation intention is a very important concept that you got to know. Don't be vague in your goal. You don't just say, like, I want to get healthier, Pam. That's my goal for this year. Like, that's too vague. You got to be super specific. Like, how? I want to eat healthier. Like, how? I want to have portion control. Okay, how many meals in a day? Okay, for two of my meals, my breakfast is not portion control. Okay, fine. At least it's doable for you, right? So be specific. Now the secret is this. In health psychology, we say that it's so hard sometimes, everyone, to rely on willpower alone. Let's be honest, lah. It's really quite challenging sometimes, to really fight our temptations and to just rely on willpower. So you know what we need to do? We need a bit of help. How to get the help? We need to automize it. You know what? We are human beings, right? I hope, right? All of us. Okay. No bots here, right? We are creatures of habit. We are creatures of habit. So we kind of get into a routine, whether it's a good routine or a bad routine. So you need to arrange your environment in a way to slowly program yourself using this technique called if then. If I come back from work at 5 p.m., I will go to the gym. If I don't make it back by 5, I will have a backup plan. I'll watch an online YouTube Zumba salsa video, for example. Okay, so the if then technique, you pair a new habit that you want to desirably achieve. You pair it with an already existing habit. You pair a new habit with an already existing behavior. When I come back from work, I will immediately do my laundry. Huh? 'Cause some people might have a bad habit of keeping laundry for like a few weeks. Maybe anyone here? You pair it up. Okay, so you want to eat healthier. So when I have a craving for something sweet, I will have my box of very healthy, non-sweetened popcorn. For example, when I want to be able, okay, when I say, for example, you want to read a book. Before sleeping, I have my book on my nightstand. I'm going to read one page a day. So you're pairing it. You are good. Definitely, you're going to sleep, right? So you're pairing the sleeping cue with a new habit, reading. You're pairing, definitely you'll wake up and brush your teeth, right? So I hope. So you pair that brushing of teeth with another habit. Here, when I brush my teeth, then I'll meditate for 5 minutes. When I return home from work, then I'll hit the gym. Your body will feel like something is missing when you don't do the second thing, the then part. You'll feel like, hey, I need to meditate right now because you're so in the zone. If you do it preferably about 21 times, you're kind of making it into a habit. Remember, a habit starts with a thought. A thought. What you're doing in the chat box is your thinking. A thought, when thought about frequently and you have the intention, will translate into a behavior. The behavior, when done often, will translate into an action, right? An action, when done often, will become a habit. A habit, when done often, will become a lifestyle. So that's how it starts, a thought and then going through it. Okay, so I'm gonna come to the chat box right now. Okay, Stevenson says that in my case, it's not watching a TV series at night. I only watch one episode, two at most, during dinner, and it's more to consuming content on YouTube or IG Reels at night because I have a very short attention span. So I jump between a video to another. I catered my algorithm to things that I'm interested in. So like running and hybrid training, but that's awesome content as well. But it leads to doom scrolling. It keeps me motivated on my training, but at a cost. How? Okay, that's true. So I think you might need the app that limits the internet connection. You if you download it, then you can like actually schedule the amount of time that you're allowed to use that app. I think it also works on apps as well. That means your IG can only be activated for 1 hour, then it will shut down or something like that. Have you heard of that before? You might need that if you're unable to willfully stop. Or else you could set a timer and you could make a conscious decision to stop that. But remember, you have to feed that reward, that craving that you have. So maybe you need to now stop after an hour, then replace it with an alternative habit or behavior that would give you that same high. Can you think of something that would give you that same high? Like maybe you actually carrying out that activity, but you said at night, right? So maybe reading about it, like an actual book, instead of like doom scrolling. If you use a fitness book, maybe that might help you, like a bedtime story before sleeping, so you still get that high because you still want to crave for running and training information, because your craving is for content. So it could be a different platform now, a physical book perhaps. That might help. Yes, I am going to give you the slides. It's going to come at the end. Okay, window shopping, another reason to walk. Exactly. When you go shopping, you pair it with the walking. So you get the idea right now, everyone. I want to share with you another secret. Now, this is called the 20-second rule. Actions are based on the habits that we have. Or you can also look at it vice versa. Habits are based on some actions that you keep doing repetitively. So you need to have activation energy to start a habit or to stop a habit. So how to do that? How to activate that? Sometimes this is what I was talking about. Arranging your environment. Okay. Make it 20 seconds harder to do a behavior that you really want to stop. Make it 20 seconds easier to start a positive habit. So, for example, this was starting off, this was actually introduced by this guy called Sean Aker. He's a really wonderful speaker. So, he spoke about making habits harder and easier. So, arranging your environment. So, I think he had this habit where after work, he would come back from work and then he would on the TV and he'll be hooked to it for like 3 hours nonstop. It's a habit, and he needed it. So he said that, okay, I want to stop this habit, man. So I have to make it harder to watch TV. How to make it harder to watch TV? He took off the the batteries from the remote control, because his TV can only be turned on with the remote. So he took off the batteries from the remote control and he put it in a high cabinet. So whenever he came home from work, he was so lethargic and tired. So he would just sit like a couch potato and turn on the TV. But now it would take a conscious effort to really get to that cabinet, take the batteries, and then put it into the remote control in order to turn on the TV. So he made it 20 seconds harder, or maybe even longer, to actually do that habit. So make it harder for you. For example, very, very unhealthy potato chips. You don't have to give it up for life, but maybe you might have 1 or 2 moments of indulgence that you feel like, I just crave for that potato chips. Can I just have it once in a blue moon? Yeah, wait for the moon to get blue first. But okay, so put that chips very high up in the cabinet, and then it makes it like, before you can think like, do I really need it? So leceh when I go and get the chair and stand up and get up. So let me just forgo it today. Let me just get this very healthy kale chips, bitter gourd chips, for example. Preferably it's homemade, hopefully. Okay, something like that. So you make it harder. How to make it easier? To make it easier, okay, you want to come back home and go to the gym, right? So you put your workout clothes readily available, already hanging on your door, on your bedroom door. So when you come back, you already see it. It's already calling out to you, wear me, like that. So your what you're doing is you're eliminating the thinking time. You are eliminating the decision making that's going to talk you out of doing it. It's already there, just do it. It's already doing itself out in a way. Can you do that? Take out your router. Ouch, that might be hard. Maybe you might need to disconnect from the internet, so make it harder. I don't know, at least a few seconds harder. Or yeah, put the remote back. What can you do for the scrolling part? Anybody has any ideas for screen time? When I was doing my PhD, I was like I would have this need to check my phone when I'm typing my chapters and everything. So, and if it blinks, even though I put it in silent mode, if it had a blink and if it lit up, I would be so like, I have to check it. Who messaged me? I have to check it. Until it came to a point, I would hide my phone in my pillowcase, That's for me, lah. That's what I did. I hid my phone in my pillowcase. I mean, I know where I hid it, but it would take effort for me to walk over to my bed and then take the pillow, open the pillowcase, take it out. So I hid it so that it's totally out of sight. Literally. Airplane mode, exactly. You guys gotta you gotta Google this. I think I spoke about this before, the Pomodoro technique. Do that with the airplane mode. Turn off app notifications. Exactly. Very true. Okay. Why does a 20-second rule work? Because willpower is limited. The more decisions you have to make, I tell you something, you will talk yourself out of it if you don't have that willpower strong enough. Remember, you are willing, you're able, you're not ready. If you're not ready, chances are, if you say to yourself, okay, early morning before work, I'm going to set my alarm 6:30 a.m. to get up and go for a jog. Do you know what? At that time, at 6:30 a.m., we become the best lawyers. We will talk ourselves out of it a lot of times. We'll be like, you know what? It's not safe for me to go out right now. I didn't have enough sleep. I think I need to sleep a little bit more. It's not safe for me. So we become very much good lawyers at that time to debate your case while sleeping, to snooze that alarm. So a lot of times we feel that way. So that's why eliminate that and just automize it. Automize it. You want to be able to eat more fruits. Put the fruits visibly on your countertop. You want to be able to have your green smoothie. Put it available there. Watch more videos about that. Put some pictures up on that. So program yourself for that, right? So Sean Aker says, by adding 20 seconds to my day, he cut short the 20 seconds, right? If it's going to take you 20 seconds to go and get your gym clothes, minus that, put it readily available. By adding 20 seconds to your day, he said he gained 3 hours. He was able to eliminate all that decision making and he saved time, actually, right? Yes, I do that too, Miles. I put my alarm really far away. So, and it's so annoying. I cannot sleep with that alarm. Don't put a beautiful song. No, don't put a really annoying thing that you cannot sleep after that. Okay, so this is how you do it. These are some very nice ideas if you want to screenshot this. Lay your gym clothes next to your bed, place a water bottle on your desk. That really helps a lot. Place a water bottle beside you so it becomes like a habit, you keep reaching out to it. Pre-chopped vegetables and have some very nice pre-chopped vegetables so that it doesn't take much for you to decide like, should I actually have a very nice extra vegetables to cook today? So you eliminate the decision making. Maybe you could do meal prep. So it eliminates the need to grab a very unhealthy meal, a quick fast food, as opposed to grabbing a healthy meal that you very healthily meal prep in the weekend. Healthy snacks on the countertop, unhealthy cookies high up. Put a book that you want to read often on your coffee table. Vitamins next to your toothbrush, right? It saves a lot of time. I agree with you, Govind Raj. I love doing that too. So can you tell me, everyone, in the chat box right now, what is one thing that you can do today to make it 20 seconds easier to start a habit? 20 seconds faster. Can you tell me? Type out the message at night so that I can send it in the morning by copy and paste. Yeah, exactly. I do that too. Actually, I message myself. Then I just copy and paste it. Turning my work, not turning my work laptop off so that I can get to work ASAP when I need it. You know what? I really bertaubat. I really repented from that habit. Afik. You know why? Last week, right? I'm the hibernate kind of person. I also will always hibernate, put my laptop on hibernate mode, sleep, 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 because I want to get back to the tabs, right? When I turn it on, until it black screened me. It wasn't a blue screen, but I had a black screen. Black screen. Suddenly it turns off and it cannot on. But you can see it was cursor. That was really scary. And I found out that it's because of not shutting down properly for many days. So I stopped doing that now. And that helped me. For me, it was the fear appeal. Okay. Wait. All right. Sure. Okay. Sorry. So I'm going to just come very quickly right now because I know that we are aware of the time. Okay. So think about your habit. So all of you said that placing my workout clothes visible. Yes. Your laptops become very hot. Yeah. It's very scary to do that. Okay. So the last part here I want to share with you is about overcoming challenges. Remember, We are only human, right? So it's really okay for you to sometimes, fall off the wagon. Sometimes you kind of like relapse. It's okay. It's okay to do that. Like you really want to be able to cut sugar, and then you cannot help it. You suddenly drank a 3-in-1 coffee. It's okay. The most important thing is not never failing. The most important thing is getting back up if you fail. So resilience is getting back up. Don't have a black and white thinking. Either I be perfect or else I'm gonna give up on 2025. No, it's okay. Take note of it. Take note of your cues. What led you to trigger you to relapse? What happened? Plan for setbacks. Some people feel like if I spend time with my friends, I'm gonna like relapse already. So maybe you could schedule things. You could tell them that I'm actually following this diet. So I would appreciate it if you can respect that. If you're gonna go out to eat, can I actually order what I want? You can make some conscious decisions if you're gonna be having a very often hangout session. But if it's once in a while, it's not wrong to treat yourself also. Okay, so I want to share with you something very nice, everybody. Before I come to the chat box, I'm going to come to and address your questions and thoughts. I want to share with you about Naluri. I think a lot of you are aware of us, but some of you may not be aware. Please try to download the app. I'm going to show you this QR code in a little while. So the main coach in Naluri is the mental health coach, like psychologist, right? We will provide you with emotional support. We will help you to address your unhelpful thoughts and any coping skills. So we have coaching. We also have therapy. So you can reach out to us. All right, these are some of our support that we have. You can scan this QR code and you can take a free emotional well-being assessment to see where you're at. And don't worry, we're going to give you the handouts. You can scan it later as well. And you also will be able to download the app in order to track your mood. Can you imagine having a mood journal? Pretty cool, right? To see how your mood has been for the whole month and then even the whole year. You can also ask to speak to a mental health coach for therapy sessions, for consultations. So I'm one of those therapists as well. You can also book a session with me or any one of my friends here. That's Diana in the picture here. Any one of you want to reach out to anybody, you can choose. We have a list of therapists there. So mental health coaches and psychologists. You can choose based on our specializations. And also, we have the version for website. So if you prefer to use your laptop to contact us, you can use the website version. Or if you prefer the mobile version, you can download the app. You can download the handouts right now. It's already up. Can you download it? And please don't forget to give us feedback. You can click on the feedback the feedback link over there. All right. So I'm going to be taking your questions and answers right now. All right. Thank you so much, Nadia. All right. Can have a chat with mental health coach to help us navigate our thoughts. Yes, you are right. Kevin, you're very right about that. I would really appreciate Rose or anybody to reach out to us. Thank you so much, Anita. Happy New Year to you too. Okay, Sarah says they will support you if they are good friends. Yes, correct. We need social support, right? So Toloi says that improve 1% daily. By the end of the year, you're at 365% better than the beginning of the year. That's a very nice way to put it. You know what? Thank you so much, Toloi, for sharing that with us. That's so true, right? Can you imagine if you know what? This reminds me of something. There was this guy who wrote so many books. Okay, so they asked him, how did you write so many books? He said, I don't recall writing so many books. I only recall writing one page a day. I remember my friend telling me this when I was so stressed about my PhD, and everything. So it's like just write one page a day. So for you guys, reading one page a day, or if you like writing, that is amazing, right? I want to lessen sugar intake, yet I drank it. It's okay, Nadia. That's why we are here to tell you that it's okay to sometimes fall off the wagon and kind of like sometimes relapse. It's all right, but try to do it in very small actionable steps. I do like my coffee with a little bit of sugar. So what I did was I switched to healthier glycemic index sugar, the lower one, like coconut sugar or palm sugar or anything like that. Then I take only half, like the portion that I used to take before. So I lessen and lessen and lessen. And after a while, maybe you could also have it in a way where you say to yourself, okay, 5 days a week, I'm going to drink my coffee with sugar. 2 days, I'm going to have it black without any sugar or any milk. You know what? You start to appreciate black coffee as well. After a while, you are training your tongue to get used to it. because a lot of times we have trained our tongue to, or we've trained our body towards certain things. So retrain it back. Anticipate possible challenges ahead and think of how we can work around them is helpful. Exactly. Have a contingency plan. That happened yesterday. What happened yesterday? Okay, let's see. Placing my laptop charger always at the charging port. Oh, yeah. Sometimes, right? Overcharging the laptop. I'm guilty of that. That also can be not such a good idea as well. Becky says, always set up your bed before you wake up. After you wake up, sorry, after you wake up. That would be your first achievement of the day that you can be proud of. I love that, Becky. Make your bed. Yes. That is so motivating, to help you to get out of bed and also to start your day. Set your journal by your bedside table to journal before you sleep. Yes, that's true. Turn off your phone at 9 p.m. That's so nice. My laptops once became very, very, very hot. That's true. Let's see. Anybody else? Okay, black coffee is a quiet taste. That's very true, everybody. Happy New Year, everyone. All right, new year, new you. Remember that. Okay, I can take some more questions if you are able to. Anybody who has to leave, I totally understand. But anybody who would like to ask some questions, you can. Okay, if I'm no longer working at my current company, can I still use or attend Naluri webinar? I think you can still attend our webinars for the community webinar, but whether you can still use the app, I am not so sure. We might need to make sure what is the new company that you're going to. If they are our client, then you can definitely use our app as well. So maybe you could maybe connect with us and ask us in the future. Have to always be on time. Um, okay, how to always be on time. Okay, so how to always be on time. That's a very good question, Katharina. So maybe figure out first what is causing you to not be on time. I think we need to go towards the blocker first. What's causing me to procrastinate? What's causing me to always be 10 minutes late or always be delayed? So maybe we might need to kickstart certain things. You might need to set your clock a little bit earlier. Or we might need to find out, like, why is it that we have this habit? It's a habit also, to always be very last minute or a bit late. So find out your blocker. It could be a habit. It could be that we are too relaxed about some things, or it could be lack of sleep. So you're sleeping really late, so you tend to be, very hard to wake up early the next morning. Find that out and make it, use the 20 seconds rule, right? So how to make it 20 seconds easier for you to be on time? Maybe is it that you are rushing in the morning to pack your stuff? How to make it easier 20 seconds earlier? Maybe you might need to have your coffee on the go, something like that. How to save that 20 seconds earlier? What can you do to save on that to make it a little bit earlier? So that could actually, because according to Sean Aker, he saved a lot of time. Switch potato chips to mashed potato. Yeah, you can. A potato salad, you can, but also coming back to the portion control, because mashed potato is not fried. So in that sense, it's a healthier option. But the portion also, like, just be careful, because potato chips, if you eat 5 potato chips, it's not going to be equivalent to the mashed potato. The mash, you might take a bit more sometimes, So you got to have portion control. I would really recommend meal prep, so that you don't have to think, how much should I take today, what should I eat today. You already have it, a healthy meal prepped for you. You eliminate the decision making. Yes, reminders are really, really good. So do you know something? I set like reminders even to wash my clothes. I used to do that last time. Now it's a habit already. So sometimes it's like you might find like other things precede your personal daily routine, right? Your personal daily routine always takes a back seat, am I right? So you might need a bit of reminder for your own daily routine. Sometimes I used to put a reminder to watch a movie, actually, because we always have a reminder for work related things. What about reminders for fun stuff? You need that too. Too much coffee being mentioned. I'm triggered to refill mine. Oh my God. Sorry, Decky. I programmed you today already. Okay. Thanks for sharing tips. Thank you so much, everyone. I think I will pause here for now. I will end here. I know that you need to finish your work as well. So thank you so much, everybody. I look forward to our next session that we will be meeting again. Thank you so, so much. And please stay tuned and please download the handouts. You can see all the QR codes there to download our app and reach out to us. Thank you so much, everyone. So good talking to all of you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. Happy New Year. All right. Thank you so much.